Well, the car is in front of the trailer and we're back at Ergo Custom Exhaust because he's going to modify our exhaust and our wastegate. And Rob is already checking out our new wastegate again.
New ones are always nice, huh?
We need a bigger wastegate because since we had a wastegate that was too small, of course we had boost creep, and boost creep destroyed our engine. That's not because of your exhaust. I saw that in the comments too. People really post the craziest things. Oh, it must be because of that exhaust that isn't right, or the flow, or whatever. It really has to do with our wastegate.
The exhaust was a bit too small though.
The 3-inch is good, but the 2.5-inch is too small. We have different springs with it because the springs actually determine the boost pressure.
Did you talk to Andy about which spring you need to put in?
Yes, 7 psi, and that's luckily we have a manual with it. 7 psi for the 50 mm wastegate is green. 7 psi means about, if I remember correctly, 0.5 bar, 0.6 bar. And once we've installed that, Andy can also set up boost by gear, because we didn't have that yet, boost by gear. Before we had a spring pressure of 0.7 bar, and you actually want to work with the lowest possible spring pressure. That way, you can set up boost by gear. And boost by gear means you can determine the boost pressure for each gear. Because the higher the boost pressure, the more power you have, which means you have less grip. So actually, in the lower gears, like first and second, you don't want high boost pressure yet. Maybe only in third and fourth gear you want maximum boost pressure.
They do this with many cars to protect them, especially automatics.
Ah, see, I've learned something new again. I just need to check the manual to see how we need to fix all this. And once it's all put together, we can mount it on the car, and then I'll take you along. To our surprise, we just measured our wastegate again. I'm not exactly sure if a 38mm wastegate is supposed to be 35 meters. That was it, right? Yes. But is a 38 meter actually a 35 meter? That's a question I don't have an answer to. But then we measured the 50 meter wastegate and it was bad.
Internally, it was 35.
So, now I don't know anymore. We're making quite some progress here. Hey Rob, do you collect those things or not? Do you have more?
Do you have
a lot more of them? Look, here.
Especially for you.
It's difficult with one hand. Come here. Well, it's still too thick, that massive bend.
Yeah, a thick-walled bend, and I would actually prefer a slightly larger diameter.
Me too, because the other one was actually 50 mm if I remember correctly, and this is 42 mm or something like that, so we're going to put the other bend on after all. Rob came up with another tube, and this one is even bigger than the one we wanted to use at first. This one is actually 56 mm on the inside, so that's really overkill, and the flow would have to be absolutely optimal. We're also making it kind of oval shaped and open, so the flow it has will be even greater. Later, with the big pipe on top, well done, man. I don't want to come here again anytime soon. As you just saw in the footage, I removed the heat wrap. That's because Rob will soon make our new screamer pipe connection to our downpipe here. Of course, that one has become too small, and I still want to show you his welding, guys. This is real art. Your hands really work wonders. Quite a piece back, right? Then we can decide again exactly how this should go. And then we can connect that one there again later. Basically just like last time, only to a greater extent. So we can really make power, guys.
Add that I was with Wando. Check if it clears with the hood.
You mean if it closes? Otherwise, you'll just put a hole in the hood. That could happen here. Anything's possible. Plenty of space. That's because of my hood latch. I don't see a dent, so that's good. How much of a difference does that make?
1.5 centimeters.
So now it's just a matter of reconnecting it. Look, now we're going to clear out that hole again, because a thicker pipe is going on. And then we can attach them to each other. I see a proud man standing there, who just showed his expertise again, guys. This is a wastegate. Hopefully it won't create any boost creep anymore, guys, because we did our absolute best to do everything to the max. Honestly, Rob, we couldn't go any further than this in terms of size, in terms of the holes we had to drill, in the downpipe, space.
A piece of the hood.
So in terms of flow, it's maxed out again. We've gone as far as possible with the piping. Same goes for the wastegate. There was one wastegate that was bigger. It was 63 millimeters. I just don't have space for that. 50 millimeters is as big as we could go. We're moving on to the exhaust, as Andy also requested. If we want to run more power, then we need a cutout.
You have to be sure about things. K-series engines love a big wastegate, a big exhaust system. That's just standard.
And for a cutout, RK is the right place to be. What kind of car do you install that on most? Maybe Audis?
No, mostly the GTs.
And do you do that halfway or just after the downpipe?
No, you should always place the cutout as far back as possible. In this case, I'm making an exception.
No, for me it really has to be here.
But I still won't do it, since I don't support the possible consequences, like flames under the car.
We actually need to put a cutout on the 3-inch exhaust so that it doesn't create any more resistance. After the 2.5-inch transition, because that's actually the reason we're making a cutout now. So that valve, this valve, it doesn't look like anything yet except for the valve. Rob is still going to create something here.
Right, there's another bend ahead. And a very small piece that he doesn't aim at the car. It goes down to the ground.
That was it. And how long does something like that usually take when a customer comes in for a cutout?
It can be done in an hour, depends on the car. And sometimes we also have valves that take 3 hours.
Okay, and what's the starting price?
600 euros.
And then you also get a device like the one I have? Yes.
Yeah.
If you already have that, you don't need to install it.
But the vacuum box itself is quite expensive. That's why the price is sometimes higher than at another shop, but you also get more.
Understood. We already have that box on our valve on the back of my rear muffler. Because of that valve system on my rear muffler, it's really quiet when you're driving. And when you open it, it's no longer street legal. Because it was 86 decibels. And that's really decent for a straight pipe with a damper. So now we're going to connect that cutout to it as well, to that vacuum box in a bit, and then we'll let you hear the sound in a bit, how it will sound. Of course, that's only for circuit use. We're even getting it cleaned up here, guys.
It's actually in my neck now.
Oh, is that what you mean? So that cutout, Rob, where are we going to put it? Because we can move it as well, but I don't think that's how we're going to do it.
There's nothing here. There's no fuel line on this side.
Absolutely nothing. Well guys, I can guarantee you that this is the last weld for today. And here you can see the result of our cutout. Super sick. Power clap, definitely a power clap in this case as well. Often it's just for a sound effect. But for us it actually works. Now let's run an extra vacuum line. Tuning blue. But this fits nicely with the theme, because we also have blue turbo hoses. Well guys, I'm excited. Rob just connected the valve, but that means we're going to start the engine now, and then we'll take a look in a moment to see how it sounds with the valves open, because 2 valves will open. One at the front by the downpipe, and one at the rear muffler, and as you know, it now starts like a monster. I've got the remote control here. The honor is yours. Well, that's clear. You can really hear it clearly.
A bit racy, huh? A bit racy.
Close it for a moment.
Rico drops in again for a bit, you know, when the show starts. Hey buddy, how are you?
And you? Good. Hello, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Sold? No.
This one's for Rico Coos, who's carless.
Well, not yet, ladies and gentlemen. Next week on 100% Auto Live. Last time you can see GTR, without the wrap.
One more time with that valve. We'll hold it for a moment to stir, and then we'll do that valve. No, close it first.
Hold it. Do it again.
Well, for now, we don't see anything else, man. I'm all set. Unless Andy says, yeah, we still need to adjust something.
Next car.
Next car? Yeah, I really hope so. As you guys have seen, we worked hard again today to get it done. It was actually quite a job. I actually thought it would be a couple of hours of work, but I've been at it all day again.
Yeah, but there's a lot of assembling and disassembling.
And a lot of chatting because we don't see each other enough either. That's mainly it. But anyway, the result is there. We can finally move on to sneaky tuning, because that's what we did it for, of course. We want to reach 500 horsepower, 600 horsepower. It's achievable. There are enough K24s already running with over 600 horsepower. Yes. Case closed. That cutout. That will make the difference later. And I think that later, at those car events, they won't be there. And that's what it's going to be, because that's just going to be burning the carpet. Yeah, but that's what's happening. Usually the flame comes out behind the car, but now...
Back then with Goldie, I was standing behind the car at IAMS. And then it comes, and I saw it happening underneath.
Bam, 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 bam. Well, that's how it goes. They won't like it. I think they'll call us on stage once, but not again. But anyway, it's going to be a showstopper. So Rob, thank you so much for today. And as you know, we always put the contact person in the link in the description. If you want to contact Rob, you can. You see that a cutout is possible. A complete intake system is possible. Soon, he'll have his own web shop, with all the top exhaust brands as well. Stay tuned for that. And Rico has something to add.
See you next week, ladies and gentlemen. See you next week.
Later. Later!